Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny Taken King video. And in this video, I want to give you guys a quick update on the Nighstalker subclass tree. In short, the build that I played and captured at E3 and Gamescom is now massively out of date, and there's been a lot of changes since. Some of those changes include talents in the subclass trees, so I'm going to quickly update you on the changes to the Nighstalker tree. So let's get started. First up, in the grenade column. This one is just a small name change. The behaviour is exactly the same, but instead of being called a slash grenade, it is now called a void wall grenade. Moving over to the super column. The root talent also behaves the same, only this time it says that Shadow Shot slows, weakens and suppresses your enemy, as opposed to before when it said slowing and silencing. Moving down one, this is completely new. Back at E3, the talent was called Inextricable, and it basically distributed damage from one tethered enemy to another. But now it's called Bloodbound, and it causes tethered enemies to explode when killed, which distributes damage to surrounding enemies. After that, we then have another change. This used to be called Wait for It, and it allowed you to create a proximity tether, but now it's called Black Hole, and instead increases the Void Anchor range, makes it last significantly longer, and allows you to tether more enemies. And then finally, in the super column, this last perk used to be called Gloom Ranger, which used to buff outgoing damage and reduce incoming damage for tethered teammates, but now it's just called Quiver, and instead allows you to fire Shadow Shot 3 times, but at the penalty of reduced Void Anchor range. Moving over to the melee column, this one has also had some pretty significant changes. The root or the top talent remains the same, but the first option used to be Smog, which increased the size of the smoke, allowing you to affect multiple targets, but now it's called Envenomed, which allows you to add a toxin to the smoke to damage enemies caught within it. Moving down from there, this second perk is where Envenomed used to be, but now you get Vanish in Smoke, which is definitely my favourite thing in this column. It allows you and your allies to vanish when in proximity to smoke explosions. So in other words, you throw it on the ground like a ninja smoke bomb and you go invisible. But you can also throw it on a teammate to make them invisible instead. And finally, this last one is exactly the same. Snare allows smoke to stick to surfaces, detonating when enemies are near. Then moving over to the 6th column, this first one used to be Uncanny Archer, which increased your armor and recovery stats until Shadow Shot was next recharged. But now you have Courage of the Pack, where killing tethered targets increases recovery and armor for you and your nearby allies. This can also stack up to 5 times. Then in the second slot, we used to have Shadow Trapped, which increased the range, duration and potency of tethers, but now that's been replaced by Light of the Pack, where killing tethered targets creates orbs of light. And finally, we used to have Well Provisioned, which gave you a second grenade and increased grenade duration. But we now have Lockdown, which makes the effects from both grenades and smoke bombs last twice as long. Then moving over to the final column, the first perk is basically the same, they just removed the line about allies benefiting from the marked targets. Then in the second slot, we used to have Rapid Shot, which allowed you to fire 2 additional explosive arrows after your first shot. But now we have Predator, where Void Anchors become traps that stick to surfaces and wait for enemies to arrive. And then the final perk is once again exactly the same. And that, my friends, is it. Those are the changes to the Nighstalker subclass tree from E3 to now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, let me know what you think of these changes, and if you have any questions, drop them down below. If you guys did enjoy this video, then a like would be massively appreciated, and aside from that, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.